we asked the students of MMU some questions about financial expenses.
What is the range of your monthly allowance?
400, 500.
600, I get 150 per week.
Mostly like 800, 1.5k.
6 to 700,
Between around 600-700.
500 to 1,000.
What do you spend the most on?
Food.
Mostly food only.
Food and petrol.
Food, definitely food, yeah. A big eater.
I only spend it on food.
Just food because I stay in the hostel, so there isn't much.
My utilities, my groceries, and food.
For me, mostly on fuel and extra expenses like going out or supplies.
Food.
I would say transportation. Mostly food.
So how do you manage your expenses?
I only spend 20 a day or 15 a day on food.
I try limit my food like 20 ringgit a day.
I'll avoid traffic hours. I'll only take 2 times a day for meal.
So recently I've been using an e-wallet, and through it I've been able to track my analytics, how I'm spending and everything.
I usually keep a ledger. Okay. So I keep my finances in my
I mean, if there's some left over, I'll just save it for the next month.
I'll prioritize the important things like needs, especially food.
I manage my expenses by setting a budget weekly.
I keep it aside daily. Like if I have 500 a month, I use like 200 or 100 per week, and I try to save to it.
I would say I will keep the money in my pocket, and also I spend the others for my food or anything.
I usually do my own budget planning, so I have money allocated for transport, food and savings.
Do you struggle with necessary expenses at the end of the month?
Sometimes, but I can manage it.
Sometimes I overspend my weekly allowance to the point I have to starve myself out or save up for next week.
Okay, last question. What do you think is a possible solution to avoid overspending and managing your expenses?
Set the budget. So if you set the budget, you won't overspend.
You just have to plan out your budget, manage your budget.
Keep track of your expenses, like write down what you buy and stuff.
I definitely think it's very helpful if you keep a ledger.
Based on these responses, we came up with solutions that would help students avoid overspending. Number 1. Budgeting by doing Excel sheet, 50-30-20 method, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% in the savings. Number 2. Using apps like Money Pocket Expense app and Daily Expense app to easily track spending. Practicing carpool. Students should regularly share their transportation. This applies to using Coompool, which charges Rm 1 per ride. Sharing GrabRide and splitting the fare should also be practiced. You can also make purchases and transactions using Touch and Go e-wallet or other online methods. Lastly, a more traditional way to avoid overspending is by practicing meal prepping. This significantly helps to reduce cost for food, as eating out requires more spending.
In conclusion, avoiding overspending requires a proactive approach and disciplined habits. By creating and adhering to a budget, students can better manage their finances and ensure they live within their means. Tracking spending helps identify areas where adjustments can be made, preventing unnecessary expenses. Sharing services like Coompool and Grab can significantly reduce transportation costs, while meal prepping not only saves money but also promotes healthier eating habits. Implementing these strategies will help students maintain financial stability and focus more on their academic and personal growth.
Thank you.